Hey everybody, we are so excited here tonight. I'm Jamie Haskin and here with Emily Gernaat, and we are going to be chatting about follow-up and the importance of follow-up. And what I'm really excited about is talking about a kind of a concept with follow-up, and that's mindset. And mindset is important in so many aspects of this business, and follow-up is not excluded. And I'm not sure that's talked about enough when it comes to follow-up. So I'm really excited to dive into not only some specific steps and tips with follow-up itself, but also how big of a role that mindset plays with that too, and how your mindset can really be helping propel you further with your follow-up and with your business and all that kind of stuff, or it can be maybe holding you back and creating a problem, and that is where that stems from. So first and foremost, let's talk about follow-up, and we're going to be talking about specifically with our team. Follow-up with potentials is a whole nother aspect as well, but just as we follow up with our potentials and then help them get started on the products and all those things, we have to continue that process of customer care, of ambassador care, of helping them out and helping them get their best results with the follow-up. If we drop the ball at that point and don't have the continued follow-up after they get started, or even I'm going to talk about before we even get them signed up, then we're missing the boat. We're missing the boat in helping them get the best results that they can get. This is obviously first and foremost about other people, right? It's about helping them get their health results because they have something they're looking for. And that's, at the core what we're doing. But it's also bad for our business. If we are dropping the ball on this, that could affect retention. That could affect you reaching goals and, getting to the next rank in this business. And you guys, this business and this financial opportunity and ranking up and all these things, that is just as much of an opportunity for people as this health opportunity, the health freedom and the financial freedom. And just because you have goals to rank up and goals to help people the best for this business to keep them on the products, that does not take away from the fact that you are also helping your people with their health goals, and that is about them, and that you want to help them see their health results. You wanting to grow a business is not taking away from you sharing this health opportunity and these health helping people one-on-one. Okay, they go together. That is the amazing thing about Plexus. You can have both, and that one doesn't take away from the other. They work together. So what else here do I want to mention? So important steps for follow-up here. I want to talk about 3 areas. One is before they even sign up. Second is during the sign-up process. And the third is after they sign up. So before they even sign up, how you prepare and talk to your person, to your potential as you are talking to them and getting them ready for them getting to sign up, is creating a foundation. It's creating a strong foundation. And so part of this follow-up first starts and setting them up for success first starts before they even sign up. So if you are preparing them with the right information and with the right expectations, that is going to have them set up for your follow-up process after they are on the products. So what does that look like? It looks like talking about the importance of consistency and time. Before they even sign up, are you talking to them about the importance of being consistent with the products like every single day and giving the products time to work? 3 to 6 months minimum. Sometimes I say more, like that's a very, very bare minimum to give the products time to work. If you are not setting that up as an expectation, you're setting up kind of more the quick fix maybe. If you're scared to bring that up, if you have fear with that, if you are looking like, okay, they're ready to get started and I just want to quick get that sale and you don't want to even bring that up, you have maybe a scarcity mindset with that. You're looking at the window right now, you're looking at the sale right now, and you're not looking at long-term. You're not looking at what is best for your person right here in front of you. And that is what's best for them. Giving them the information, setting them up strong, and having a strong foundation there. So mindset will come later here. Moving on to educating them as well. So if you're talking about it not being a quick fix and having that time and consistency, you're also going to be talking about why that is, right? So gut health and how the products relate to, gut health, blood sugar balance, inflammation, in terms of their health goals, right? So you're talking about health goals, you're talking about what these products are doing. It's not just energy, it's not just weight loss. Yes, those are very good things that people are looking for, but asking questions, getting more out of them so that you know what's going on with them, so you can make that connection to why this is basically getting at the root of their problems. So if they know that this is something that gets to their root, that it takes time and consistency, they have that education, then they are going to be set up for the long term of being on the products, right? They know why this is important. If they don't have a why of why that's important, they're going to be much less likely to be invested in what they're getting into. So you want them invested, right? So let's see. You've been talking about health goals. You talk about time and consistency. If they have all those things set up before they even start, that is going to help them then do those things after, and you shouldn't have as many problems with maybe partial PBs because they are taking all the products that they're starting with. They're planning on continuing to take, you're starting most people with $199 welcome packs. They're taking at least the triplex or whatever they're starting with, and they're being consistent. So that means they are going to continue to order that every month because you've set them up for that. And you're not going to be having just one product here, one product there. So one thing to talk about before they get started too. You have the health stuff we're talking about, I'm assuming. That's kind of what a lot of people are leaning towards and maybe lead with. But we also have this financial opportunity, right? So just like I was talking about earlier, how you have both of those two sides of the coin here, when you are talking to potentials before they even get started, please also talk about the financial opportunity. You guys, people need financial freedom and a financial opportunity just as much as they need health opportunities out there nowadays, right? They might need something for the health. A lot of people are struggling financially, living paycheck to paycheck. A number one problem in marriages, people fight about money. Number one thing that people are looking for New Year's resolutions, health and finances. So these things go hand in hand. So we should be talking about that with everybody before they even start, not waiting until after they start, not waiting until after they see results. Before they start, plant that seed. Offer that, talk about that. Don't rob somebody else of an opportunity that you have to give them, because this is something that you have in your hands. You're not holding back on the health aspect, right? You're not holding back. You're excited. You're telling about it. And this can make a huge benefit for your health. Same exact thing financially. You should be just as excited, just as bold, because maybe this is something they need. So you offer that. They can decide to take it or not. You plant that seed, you offer it, but do not rob that of somebody and take that away in terms of the opportunity from them. If you have fears with that, with bringing that up, again, a mindset thing, and we're talking more about that later, but shift that from taking it away from you. This is about me. I'm fearful. I'm worried about this or what to say, and put that on them. This is a focus on them, right? And that right away shifts what your focus is on. If you're focusing about them, you're going to give them everything you have to offer, right? So this is all before they even sign up. Do you guys see how this lays a platform for a strong foundation if all this is given to them before they even sign up? And then shifting to the sign up process, first and foremost, since we're talking about the sign up process, I always say get on the phone, and I will say that till I'm blue in the face, because getting on the phone is powerful. You have the best opportunity to develop rapport with somebody, and I don't care if that's a friend, an old friend that you need to catch up with. I don't care if that's a stranger. Get on the phone, because you can answer questions. You can help them sign up without any glitches. When you're on the phone, you give them your website at that moment, and they are signing up instead of you giving it to them on Messenger or something, and then all of a sudden you're playing the hide and seek game trying to find them in 2 days to see if they still signed up yet or not, because they didn't or whatever. So smoother process with signing up. not having any glitches, you get it through, but you can answer questions and you can inform them about stuff and you can get to know them more. How many times, I can't even tell you how many times I am, or in person, yes, but how many times that I've been on the phone with people and found out more information about their health struggles that maybe wasn't brought up at the first time around. Or we started talking about the financial opportunity and that skyrocketed into a full-blown, like bold vision for what this is possible with. And we had no idea that they would even have been interested in that. I've been on 3-way calls with that. So it is important. You will find things out that you will not find out in Messenger. Maybe not every single time, but I would guarantee almost most of the time, if not every time, you'll find out something. You make that connection. So get on the phone. Let's see here. I think that's all I want to say in that. So bringing up financial opportunity here, I did briefly mention that, but again, multiple layers of that. So bring that up again. Ask about, questions about sharing with their friends and family, about, planting that vision for the future, but ask open-ended questions and wait for answers. Don't just quickly say it and brush off and keep going. Ask and wait for answers in terms of the financial opportunity. So moving on. So reiterate time and consistency when you're on the phone. Again, layers. And set up the expectation for follow-up. So that's a big tip. When you're on the phone and you're signing them up, let them know that you will be following up with them and talking to them regularly. Hey, I'm going to check back with you in 3 days and you should have your products and, we're going to be talking about this. Or after they get their products, you're going to continue to do that and set up that expectation. But let them know, hey, for the first couple weeks, I'm going to be checking in every 3 days at least. And we're going to be talking and, feel free to ask me any questions. I'm going to be seeing how you're doing. And if they know that ahead of time, they are not only expecting you to follow up, but that also holds you accountable, right? You have to say what you have to do what you said you're going to do, right? So you need to be responsible for following through with what you said, and then they are going to expect that. So yes, sometimes people answer, sometimes people don't, people get busy, whatever it is. But if you basically set up that unofficial appointment with them, they know it's coming. They're expecting it. They should be expecting to respond. So set that up with them during that process, and then continue to do that as you follow up with them in the future. And you guys cannot stress enough that this is so good for not only your business, for helping, if you are very, very intentional with your follow-up, helping keep people from products in your business and duplicating that down correctly. But on top of that, it's best for your person starting. It's helping them get their best results. First and foremost, this is about them, right? And you want them to have health results. You want them to see successes on these products and to stick with the products because they love it. Well, the best way you're going to do that is to set up the follow-up and set that strong foundation there. So also with that, I kind of briefly mentioned this, but give them permission to contact you at any time with questions and whatever. Sometimes people just need that permission and for you to tell them, hey, please contact me if something ever comes up, or if you have any questions. Some people might shy away from that, so just make sure you kind of give them permission. After they signed up, so you've already talked to them about your checking in with them in a few days. A huge part of after they've signed up is making sure that they're starting their products correctly. I'm not going to go into a whole product regimen, but I know we have lots of products. We have lots of large $199 welcome packs now, and there's different ways to start. But I think one of the things I see the most with these $199 welcome packs and having more products is sometimes people start too slow, or they might start on some of the products but not all of them, and then they might have never even started some of them by the end of the month. There's no reason they can't be on all the products within a week, unless they have some major health issues and detox and everything else going on. So helping them get started on their products in a slow way, but in a consistent way. And the only way to know what's going on is if you are asking the right questions. So when you're following up, you need to be able to know if what products they're taking and how many and how often, and all those things. So when you follow up, you need to ask questions. So if you ask how they're doing and they respond, doing great, thanks. Your answer should not be, Awesome. Let me know if anything comes up. I'll check back in a few days. Doing good is not a good answer, even though it seems like it. So make sure you ask more questions, because behind that doing good, you don't know what's happening. So there could be, for example, things that you should be asking. Well, first, let me back up. Things that you should be asking on a regular basis with people. Are they taking their products daily? Are they being consistent? How many of each product are you taking and when? How much water are you drinking? Don't ask, are you drinking enough water? How much water are you drinking? And yeah, those are mostly the basic ones, but never assume you know these answers, because even though they're doing good, or even though you told them to start their products this way, does not mean they started the products that way. Even though you told them to up their dosage of this, does not mean they listened and they upped their dosage. They could be taking ProBio 5 in the morning, and they could be on week 3 and only taking 1 ProBio 5 at night. They could be drinking Slim over the course of 5 hours throughout their entire day. They could be doing who knows what. So you need to ask the question. So doing good, ask them, great, I'm glad to hear it's going good. Can you fill me in on where you're at with your product regimen? How many are you taking right now? When are you taking them? Are you taking them every single day? How is that going for you? And then you can find out, well, no, actually they're forgetting some of the days. I remember my Slim, but I don't remember my Bio Cleanse. Or yeah, I'm taking Rum Bio 5 and it's been a few weeks, you know, so you find out the information and you can adjust and troubleshoot. Then you can give them tips. Maybe they are having some detox, but they just didn't tell you. Ask them how they're feeling. So find out the information, ask the questions, but you're not going to always get it if you don't ask. And it's important to ask that right away, because if you wait and then all of a sudden a month later or 2 months later, you find out that they're kind of ready to throw in the towel. They haven't been seeing results, or they haven't been feeling good. And all of a sudden you find out maybe they have not been taking the products correctly this whole time, but you didn't know because we didn't ask questions. And obviously there's different things here and there, but you can only do your best to do you to set them up for success. They have to then follow, but at least you're asking the questions and trying to catch that ahead of time. What else was I going to say with that? That obviously correlates with retention then as well, in terms of you growing your business. And it also correlates with them seeing results and staying on the products. So follow up with that and asking all the right questions. Sorry, reading this. Yes, you can start on the triplex and slowly add the other products. Definitely do that too. I'm not saying like one way or the other in terms of product regimen at this point. I'm just saying if it comes to the end of the month and they haven't even started some products, or they're taking very small dosages, or they're being inconsistent, that's where it's making sure they're starting slowly but consistently on everything is more the point I'm getting at. Okay, so quick plug-in. I'm going to wrap this up and pass it on to Emily, but quick plug-in for three-way chats. Please do all your follow-ups in three-way chats. Third-party validation is extremely, extremely important. Trust the process, because we know from experience and is shown and proven time and time again with our team that it has helped retention huge. And retention means your business is better, but it also means, again, it's that personal one-on-one, helping the person see the best results possible. And if you want to do the best by them, you're going to help set them up for success with the tools that have been working. And one of those tools is three-way chats. So talking in there, third-party validation, giving them community and support, and then you learn too from your upline. Another way of follow-up is on social media too, and we don't think about that much, but in terms of prospects, it's a good follow-up, but it's also good for your team, for your ambassadors starting, them seeing your posts, them seeing testimonies and product information and business opportunity, talking about the business. It's another good way to follow up. They see that exposure and they have that belief building through that, and through pages like Gut Health, Happiness, and Beyond. So make sure you're adding them to those, and the team pages, of course, too. So passing this on to Emily. All of this is fine and great, right? Great tips, do the things, be consistent. But if you're doing all the things, but there's still something that isn't quite adding up, or you find yourself holding yourself back or fearful about things, that might have something else going on. So Emily's going to talk about mindset and how that can play a very, very, very critical role amongst all this if our mind is not right. So take it away, Em.
Thanks, Jamie. I wanted to talk about mindset a lot tonight because this is something that has really affected my business. Just a quick funny story to start with. When Jamie signed me up, she set me up and said, I'll check back with you. And she said something about when your products come in, let me know. And I didn't. I didn't let her know. My products came in and I started on everything full dose all at once. And let me tell you, I detoxed like crazy. I had really weird dreams and funny things happen. But then Jamie reached out to me again and was like, okay, did your products come in? And I was like, yeah. And I was just being really independent and, doing my own thing. So that just goes to show you like the importance of checking back in with people, whether they check in with you or not, or whether they reach back out to you and let you know that their products came or not. Just set a reminder in your phone and know that their products are going to come in about 4 or 5 days, and make sure and check back with them then. So mindset came into play for me a couple of months into my business. So in the first month of me sharing, I was 5 points away from going gold. And I did not realize at that point, I was so new that I didn't realize that at the beginning of the next month, my points would start over. So I ended the month at whatever points, 5 points away from gold. And I thought like at the beginning of the next month, it would just keep climbing from there, from the first on up. And it went back to zero. And I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? And so I realized after talking to Jamie what was going on, but it kind of gave me this little bit of like scarcity mindset, like, oh my gosh, they're all gone and now I have to start over. And this came into play that month because I was worried about talking about people's subscriptions. I was worried about them stopping their products or turning their subscriptions off or just disappearing. Kind of that abandonment mentality or scarcity mentality. And so my follow-up with them was pretty rocky. Like I was afraid to reach back out to them. I was afraid to really like dig in deep as far as how things were going with the products. I was afraid that they were detoxing. All of these fears underlying that made me like have this analysis paralysis, I guess you could say. And I didn't want to reach back out to them and talk to them. So this really slowed things up for me with my business. And I feel like my retention was pretty bad there for a little bit because of this. So, but, after, seeing that trend in my business and seeing, just in my back office, like, okay, these people are taking their products for a month or two and then they're shutting their subscriptions off. What is happening? So I love that we have the back office and that we can track things so well. I mean, they really map it out for you as far as like what's happening in your business. So we have that tool and we have that way of seeing trends. And I really like that we can track that progress. And that is something that I noticed pretty quickly. And, I could feel that scarcity mindset and I could feel that fear. And so it's something I worked on addressing. And I, made the choice to make my mindset and start reaching out to these people in a systematic way. So instead of just willy-nilly reaching out to them and saying, how's it going? I would have a system of what to say, on a couple of days in, or what to say if they showed any interest in the business, or what to tag them in, things like that. And the trend has changed for my business as far as retention goes. And I'm seeing the fruit of that from being more systematic, being more bold, and making it about them and not about my feelings and my fears and my scarcity. So changing the mindset from making it about me and my points and my rank up or whatever, I'm feeling worried about and anxious about, and shifting it all the way back to them and what can I do for them to make their experience better and to add value to them. And another, just a quick tip for following up, as soon as I sign somebody up now, I go to their profile, and if it's, especially if it's somebody that I don't know well, I will, where it says follow, you can click follow, and then you can click the option to see first. And I always make sure I do that because I want to see their face in my face every single day. And I want to see what they're up to, and I want to get to know them and make more of a connection with them. Because I feel like having that connection is really huge, even if it's just trivial things. Like, I might see one of my girls' shirts that I really like, and I just message her really quick and say, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get your shirt?" And it's a way of following up and building a connection that isn't just about business, and it's not just about their health. Because sometimes I think that can wear on people a little bit too, when you're just constantly like hammering them about their health or their product regimen or whatever. You need to kind of sprinkle in some connecting points too. So I feel like that's really important, and just getting to know them better, even if it's somebody that you know fairly well, just clicking that see first button on Facebook and making sure that they're in your face every day so you know what's going on is so helpful to get to know like just different things about them. So I really like that. And the other thing too with follow-up is I kind of got stuck in this like feeling like I had to build this really deep relationship with everybody on my team. And that's not really the case. You need to have things that you connect over. But it can be something as simple as what they made for dinner. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be like, I'm the type of person that I want to like get 7 levels deep with somebody and talk about like their relationships and like just go all in. But not everybody's like that. And sometimes that's intimidating. So just making a point to make little connections here and there, getting to know their personality, and what makes them excited and things. And then along those lines, celebrating every little teeny tiny victory that they have and helping them feel that win. So some people are, I feel like a lot of people actually are kind of conditioned to not show excitement or show emotion early on. They're conditioned to be skeptical about these things. So when they have the teeny tiniest little health victory or the teeny tiniest victory with their business, I feel like it's so important to just like celebrate the tar out of that and just really be excited with them and help them to realize like what a big deal that is. So that is kind of my thoughts on mindset. I think I better turn this back to Jamie. It's 8:29.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to look at, so some of the things you're talking about, I want to see. So a lot, when we were talking too, you were kind of specific on some things in terms of, let me see. So, okay, can you talk about one? You said you talked to them after you signed them up. What are you intentional? You said you were talking to them daily. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm talking to them daily about just being excited and connecting with them in that time. So the time between when they've signed up and when they've gotten their products is when I am making an intentional connection with that person. So I might not be like bringing up things about the business or whatever, but I might tag them in a post that's a testimony similar to what they're looking for in their products, or I might comment a bunch on their things, or just make sure that I am making that connection just in a relationship building kind of a way.
Mm-hmm. And before you talked about at the beginning just kind of being scared or dreading getting in the chats, having that mindset of assuming the worst, so avoiding the chats, not asking the questions, maybe rushing the follow-up. not wanting to even get in there. It's kind of a vicious cycle. So now you said your mind. So how has your mindset shifted from that?
No, I am looking forward to getting in the chats. I want to see what they're up to. I want to know how it's going. Um, and I'm excited because I know our products work and I know what they can do for people and I know what they've done for myself. So I'm excited for them to feel those things too and to see results. I'm not worried about them detoxing because I know that can be part of it and they're going to feel better on the other side of it. So um, it's just having that confidence, knowing that we have a product that nobody else has, and we have something that can change people's lives. And that's exciting. It's something worth getting excited about.
Mm-hmm. And then one last question with that. Before, because of dreading and all that, you weren't specific with following up. You weren't asking the question. So now you had mentioned specific things that you, I don't know if you remember, you asked like questions in terms of what they're feeling. Can you talk a little bit about that and being specific with trying to dig that out of them?
Yep. So instead of just saying like, how are you? How are things going? I will say something like, how's your energy level? How are you sleeping at night? Um, I know, like, if it's somebody that's dealing with something specific, I'll ask them something specific about that thing, and just bring it right to the forefront of their mind because the truth is, most people are pretty numb to how they feel throughout the day. They don't really even realize they feel so crappy. They don't really pay any attention to their pain level and things. So I feel like it's really important to bring that to the forefront of their mind so that they realize the changes as they're happening. And so just making an effort to be specific and ask more pointed questions so that they, their mind is kind of shifted to think about those things a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. So mindset is like, it's so much more than just how we feel and what's going on, because whatever our mindset is going to affect our actions, and that's going to affect what we do with our people who start. So if we have that mindset where we are expecting the worst, if we're dreading getting in our chats, if we're expecting that they're going to, maybe quit, or we're worried about detox, or we're fearful of these things, you guys, we're not going to get in our chats, or we're not going to ask the right questions, or we're not going to be able to use the tips that we know we should be doing because we're self-sabotaging. And if we're self-sabotaging, we're sabotaging kind of them, or how much we can help them at least. So our mindset plays such a vital, vital role with following through on the things that we need to do to best help our people get started. So shifting that, I know Emily said she was, I think you mentioned this on here too, but we talked earlier too, but watching the videos, building the belief, watching the training videos, and being intentional about shifting your mindset to be excited. Tell yourself, I'm excited to get in my chats in the morning. I can't wait to talk to this person and to see how they're doing. Even if you don't necessarily think that yet, just start saying it out loud. Start thinking it, start believing it and saying it. And that's going to change your attitude when you get into that chat. If you go into that chat dreading, that's going to be a totally different feel and how you're going to respond versus if before you get into the chat, you are excited and you are building yourself up to be excited to talk to everybody and expecting the good, not expecting the worst, and seeing a little bump and taking that as a way that you can talk to them more and work through it. And it's, so mindset is so critical and huge. And I just loved what Emily shared in terms of kind of the before and then the after of what she has seen and been able to articulate in the difference. So that's something that maybe you are seeing in yourself. Be intentional about making that shift. I know we're over on time, but Emily, a couple people asked, I don't know if you want to share anything now or even later you can, but some people asked if you could share more about how you track your follow-ups and some verbiage or like what you tag in. So that might be a very long conversation, but really, really quick, is there anything specific you can say on that?
I can definitely write those things down. I feel like that could get lengthy, but I'll write those down and then put it in the comments later tomorrow. So
Okay.
I can definitely do that so we can look at the system a little bit more.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you guys. Anything you wanted to end with, Emily?
Yeah, just a quick note to end on, I guess. So something I've learned about just like your body and how you respond to fear or nervousness versus excitement, your body will respond the same way. So physiologically, you might feel sweaty, your heart rate might raise a little bit. Um, just those same feelings of fear are the same feelings for excitement. So when you decide that you are excited to follow up with people, um, you can convince yourself that you are excited to follow up. So, and like I said, your body's going to feel the same exact way. So, changing that mindset to be able to follow up with excitement versus fear is totally up to you and totally within your hands.
Love that. Really, really good. Thank you, Emily, and thank you guys, and have a good rest of your night. Catch you later.